let's move on now to the last team I guess the first place team in the NFC North, and that is the Minnesota Vikings. They had an anomaly of a 2022. Like their point differential, I don't have it written down, but I want to say it was like 4 points, right?
It was. So they had the 7th ranked offense in points scored. Oh, I had the 7th. For just points scored, maybe for yards, it might be different. No, it's the same. I'm using Pro Football Reference. Anyways, I had 424 total points that they scored. While then on defense they gave up 427. And for them to go 13-4, win the division, host a playoff game, it is a little shocking. Because it kind of goes back. We talked about this with the Lions as well, where they just found ways to win games. Honestly, there's no real other way I think to say that. Like it's not.
The Bills game is the perfect example, in my opinion.
That game was absolutely handed to them. Yes, it was definitely handed to them.
Yeah. So and then you look at the Bills game, the Patriots handed them that game also with a stupid running into the kicker penalty. And so I just yes, they were 13-4. They also shouldn't have beat the Colts. That was another ridiculous game where the Colts could have taken a knee every single play, offensive play, and then punted. And they would not have had enough time to come back in the second half. So
it's like another game Matt Ryan played. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah,
but it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of suppressed memories coming back up.
Yeah.
But no, that's like.
Are you good?
Yeah. 1 second. 1 second. I need a tissue. 1 second. Yeah. For people who aren't watching the channel, I'm a Falcons fan. Ryan's a Patriots fan. So now you get the joke.
Yeah.
They called them the cardiac kids for a reason, going back to the Vikings. And it is all these games, even like the Lions game in week 3, all the way down to, I guess, that Buffalo Bills game before they got their cheeks clapped by the Cowboys in week 11. It's like they're winning by 3 points or 1 possession games, and they came back in every single one of them. And absolute props to them. But it really was. It just seemed like it was. It was Justin Jefferson or bust. It really did seem like that.
Yeah, and then it was like when they did lose, they would lose like 40-6 to the Cowboys, and it was just such a weird, anomaly of a season.
Yeah.
Props to Kevin O'Connell. He had a pretty good year as his first year as head coach there.
But that's the one thing, and not to rag on the Vikings too much, but I think it just became very clear on what their offensive or what their offseason needs were. And I'll start with the defense. I think Brian Flores was the perfect hire for that team. We saw what he did with the Miami Dolphins team, and I think he's going to turn this defense around. They definitely need a lot of help, a lot of youth on the defensive edge, and also secondary and linebacker help. They just need help on defense as well. And I think he can go and find those guys. And he has absolutely shown he has the resume of hey, I did this with these young talents and made this young, great defense. And I think that's going to bring so much to that team, because then I think it's just going to put a lot less pressure on the offense to just be like, we're going to pin our ears back and we're just going to go score touchdowns. Justin Jefferson just start running, which kind of leads into, I think, the second thing that they're definitely going to look for, and they're not really going to find it in the offseason, so I think they might get in the draft, but they're going to need to get him a running mate. I have them sitting at negative $24 million in cap space, and the first name that's popping out to me, Adam Thielen. I think he's going to be a cap casualty.
They have a few.
Yeah. They'd be saving $13.5 million if they designate him as a post-June 1st cap cut. And so that to me is the first one that comes out to my mind. Another one, an interesting one too, and I'll say this, and this might be unpopular, but Dalvin Cook is $9 million. If they cut him, that gets them to even on the cap.
Yeah.
Right there. They can do some restructuring, but Dalvin Cook's hitting 27, 28. You have a deep running back class in this draft as well. Those are 2 unpopular names, I think, to be said. I'm very curious on what Vikings fans think. But if we're trying to reboot this offense, I think
he'll be 28 next.
That's
season.
getting close to running back, and we're looking at you're going to have Zach Charbonnet coming in. It's going to be very fun to watch. I think Zach Evans as well would fit great into this offense. There's a lot of young pieces I think that they can come in and replace. And Alexander Mattison hasn't done horribly as the backup. I mean, he's kind of been a guy.
Yeah,
a lot of fantasy guys tag at the last round, like just in case if Dalvin Cook gets hurt. And I know I say that. I know Dalvin Cook just had a 1,000-yard rushing season with 8 touchdowns. But I'm just saying that might be a tough decision that needs to be made. But if you're trying to look for long-term future, I think it's just an interesting thought.
No, I agree. And for me, I think you look at Dalvin Cook, he's a guy, he's had multiple season-ending injuries. 28, that's a season away already from hitting that 30-year-old threshold. And I just think cutting him, while, yes, that's sad for Vikings fans, I think it makes sense. Adam Thielen, we saw it last year. He's 35, I believe, or 33 or 35.
Yeah, he's definitely
he doesn't have the wheels that he used to have. Not that he was ever a burner anyways, but he was like just fast enough. And you really saw it last season. He's not the guy that he once was.
He's 32 now, and that just age is just coming. I remember when this happened to Roddy White in the Falcons. He just hit that number, and it's unfortunate to see, but he's not that guy. And I think on top of that, it shows just how much of a steal they got getting Justin Jefferson as well.
Oh yeah,
like for him falling all the way down because he had an absolutely unreal season. 1,800 passing receiving yards. I mean, he's going to break the receiving record. I think in 2023 if he can stay healthy. Yeah.
I actually think getting him another threat on the opposite side would just boost his numbers even more because then you're going to have to put Justin Jefferson one-on-one or at least with minimal safety help. Yeah. And so I like the idea of going.
So it is April 27th. I think that's when the draft is, April 27th or the 29th. It is a Thursday night in April. First round is on. All 3 of the top receivers are somehow still on the clock. Who do you think the Vikings are selecting?
Well, none of them, in my opinion. I think they have other needs. They need to get offensive tackle, beef up that offensive line. If we're going to play this game and I have to pick a wide receiver, all 3 of the top ones, Jordan Addison.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Is the one. Because Justin Jefferson, you can play him wherever. Jordan Addison, I think, is a good complement to that. But he's the one, to me, that brings the most speed threat. And when you have that element of speed, we saw this is what the Chiefs did for years. They would take that safety and they would move them just instantly 5 yards back, which opens up the middle of the field for the rest of the weapons, like Justin Jefferson, like TJ Hawkinson. And then every now and then, you're still going to burn the safety with Jordan Addison. And then you also have Jordan Addison, who's probably the most polished route runner in the NFL or in the NFL draft this year.
Yeah.
So to me, I think that's the way to go. They don't have a ton of picks. So I would recommend that if they really want to get another weapon, they try to find a way to trade for him or maybe sign him in free agency somehow.
Yeah.
They only have a first, a third, fourth, and 2 fifths. So that's only 5 picks.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
for me, that's a really tough situation, especially given their cap space. That is also why I think the Dalvin Cook cut is going to come. Because then I think with that 4th or one of those 5ths, you can go and get a guy that can come in.
Oh, yeah. Well, and with as I said, with how deep this running back class is this year, I mean, you're going to have Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is going to be there as well. But I would not suggest taking Bijan Robinson there at all.
No. Oh, no.
But it is, I think, something interesting to think about. They probably won't cut him, but I just looking at the numbers, and I don't think that anyone would trade for a 28-year-old running back. I just can't think of a team.
If you are, you're getting like a 5th, at best. And so for me, cut him. You'll save. What'd you say? $9 million.
$9 million if it's a designated post June 1st, according to over the cap. So
yeah. So that for me, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook get cut. Maybe restructure Kirk Cousins. Maybe extend Justin Jefferson and lower his overall cap hit. Would be something that could be interesting. Did he already sign his extension? Because I know he's coming up on. Because he was the 2019 class.
Extension has him right now just making $2.3 million. They're definitely going to extend him.
Oh yeah. So,
but right now, if they extended him, it would just clear up what looks like 1.1.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. That's when you start nickeling and diming the salary cap just to get back under the number. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think the outlook for the Vikings is optimistic going into 2023. I think they have a lot of good pieces. They got really lucky in a lot of situations in 2022, and I think that made them look better than what they actually were.
Yeah.
But like Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins, those guys are legit. If Brian Flores can come in and do what he did in Miami with this Vikings defense, I mean, you're looking at it probably at worst an average defense, which is still a big improvement from what they had as the tied for 28th ranked defense. So
yeah,
I'm pretty optimistic about the Vikings going in. I think it's them and the Lions that are going to be going neck and neck for the division. So
yeah, I don't want to count out the Packers because it is still the Pack. I mean, curious to kind of see what happens with Aaron Rodgers, but
there's too many unknowns for me to include.
Absolutely.
In that.
Well, the Vikings, though, we at least know, as we said, like there are some clear weaknesses of this team. Yeah. They could still do it. I would pick the Lions. Like if it was right now, I would pick the Lions to win. But the Vikings can absolutely still do it.
No, yeah, I agree. So I think that's going to wrap up the Minnesota Vikings. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Tyler and I were trying very hard to grow our community, and we would love to hit 1,000 subscribers before the NFL draft. Whether that's realistic or not, we'll see. But if you can help us reach that goal, know. Yeah. If you can help us reach that goal, that'd be much appreciated. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.